what I want to bring to the attention of those of you who are watching this is that pretty much all of you that I've spoken with over the last several years, if you've done a consultation with me or done one of my programs or just applied, you all have something in common, and that is anxiety or chronic stress. And this isn't anxiety that just started after your hiatal hernia diagnosis. This is anxiety that's been going on for some time, usually after a trauma or a period of chronic stress in your life, but pretty much all of you. So I just want to bring that to your attention today and help point you in the right direction to address it. Maybe it hasn't occurred to you before watching this that there could be a strong emotional connection to your physical issue, but you are an interconnected organism. In modern cultures, we tend to view ourselves as disconnected and unrelated parts and even distance ourselves from our physical body like it behaves on its own accord. In Eastern traditions and lifestyle and forms of medicine, it is known that this is not the case, that our emotions and our body and our mind are all interconnected and influence each other. Modern science is just catching up to this, and today there are many doctors and researchers who are on the forefront of mind-body medicine and who are essential at proving what these ancient systems have known all along. So somatizing, which is a modern psychological term, is when we experience an emotion in our body as a physical sensation. For example, a person who has just lost a loved one may somatize their grief through severe fatigue. Most people experience somatization at some point in their life. Throwing up from anxiety, having a headache due to stress, or feeling physically weak after trauma are all examples. So it is known in the scientific community that digestive issues and emotions like anger and anxiety frequently run together. This is why people with digestive issues are sometimes prescribed mood stabilizers, and why science has proven that probiotics can be as effective as mood stabilizers for people with anxiety and depression. And I have worked with many people over the years who, when they have an emotional release, their physical problem goes away. The techniques that I share with you to relieve your hiatal hernia by releasing trigger points in the diaphragm, which, if you don't know what a trigger point is, it's when muscle fibers contract and create constrictions, typically known as a knot. And they can happen anywhere in the body, and they're usually caused by mineral deficiencies, stress, worry, restricted breathing. If you have a hiatal hernia, it's the ones that I address, it's because of trigger points that are in the diaphragm. Trigger points can cause all sorts of referral pain patterns, which means that if you have a trigger point in one area of the body, the pain is felt in the other. So one really common one is when people who work on the computer and their arms are overstretched forward. So the pectoral muscle then shrinks and the rhomboid in the back is overstretched. And so the constant overstretching of the rhomboid leads to spasm and trigger points. And the hypercontracted muscle in the pectoral muscle leads to shrinking and trigger points. So people will be like, massage back here, it hurts back here. But the trigger points here in the front need to also be released to open that up and relieve the pain. Similarly, when trigger points develop in the diaphragm and push the stomach up into the esophagus, you will experience acid reflux. That is what the type of exercises that I'm teaching address, is to release the trigger points in the diaphragm, using mainly your breath and stretching. And if you need a video demonstration of the diaphragm muscle and how to release it, you can look at my video Hiatal Hernia, where I break down the practice, and the link is below in the description too. If you are chronically stressed out or suppressing your emotions or have undergone a trauma, that is also going to impact your health and recovery. That is why, to heal holistically, you do have to change your diet, but you also need to work with healing your emotions. Suppressed emotions can cause physical symptoms. In this case, you may not even be aware that there's an emotion there at all. And the less in touch that you've been with your emotions, or the more that you've tended to suppress them, the more likely this is going to happen. So if you have a chronic pain condition, my strong suggestion is that you start to pay attention to your feelings, your stress responses. Also, as silly as it may sound, start talking to your physical pain. Ask it what it needs, and see if you can remember what was happening in your life when it began. You may need some healing there. I recommend you watch my video, The Power of Emotional Intelligence and Intuitive Health. In this video, I actually take you through a guided practice that will help you to develop your connection to your feelings and to your intuition. I also have a free hour-long masterclass, the link's below, that dives into this topic that you can access in the description. And at the end of that masterclass, you will receive information to apply for a free consultation. So these consultations are free for right now. I'm really not sure how long I will be doing that, but they are reserved for people who would be a good candidate for my program. In other words, you are looking for a solution, a program for your problem, and I believe that I can fix it. But the catch is that you have to watch my masterclass so that you learn about my thinking and how I would address your issue, just to potentially save us both time in the long run. So thank you so much for watching. If you like my content, please let me know by liking it and subscribing to my channel. You can find the links below to those other videos also. I hope that this information aids you on your path, and please find me on Instagram. I have a personal account, Monica Yearwood, and an account for my business, Hamza Ayurveda and Yoga in Chicago. Thank you.